everybody's stressing out. Everybody's losing control of what's going on. Can you maintain your calmness? Can you stay zen? If people start pointing their fingers at you and blaming you, can you stay calm during that process? It doesn't mean that you aren't emotionally feeling that, or even some doubt creeping in your head. Can you withstand the storm? I tell people all the time, I tell my fighters all the time, be the eye of the storm. There's this crazy storm going around you when you're in a ring or cage, but can you stay calm? The calmer person has a better shot at winning. Can you keep your cool? Can you stay calm in that moment?
Shit, I'm about to go wait in this place when you dropping the bass in. The beat inside the streets of awaken. I'm making to break my foot off of somebody's ass. I'm waiting for someone to say my name so I can annihilate them. Okay, then everyone was screaming the rape when I was kicking at the gate till it caved in. Belly scraping by, but now I'm paid. Look at the paper I raked and I'm caking like Jay-Z and Drake. And I hate when people say that I ain't killing shit. The game is my playpen. I punch you in the face and end up breaking your break bands. I'm far from Hollywood. I'm posted up at the days in. Even though the industry say I'm the latest sensation. Drop the song at the board show. Becoming complacent. Mama saw me on TV with just a bum in the basement. You a Captain Save a whole you.
What's up, everybody? You control you. Another beautiful day. What I'm most grateful for is friends, family, God, as always. I don't know if I have anything else really specific. I'm grateful for life. I'm grateful that I came across a poem that I may have heard before, but I don't think I have. Now, this one might rub some people the wrong way, only because the author during the times, let's just say he was a little outspoken about other groups of people. And so it is what it is. So the poem is called If by Rudyard Kipling. I believe it was 1850. That one's not on my paper. I'm pretty sure it's 1850. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you could trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give away to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make your dreams your master, if you could think and not make your thoughts your aim, if you can meet triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters the same, if you could bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stood up and build up with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss. If you could force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there's nothing in you except the will, which is to hold them on, which says to them, hold on. If you could walk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch. If neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much, if you could fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son. When I heard that, it was insane. Corey, are you going to need me to do something here?
Yeah.
I got you. So this poem really hit me yesterday. So I'm always reading something, and I'm always looking to strive to be a better man, always listening to fathers, always listening to motivational speakers, women, mothers, whatever the case. And it's not because I look down on myself. It's because I always believe I can become a little bit better. And there's always different points of views. And I'm always interested in listening to other people. And I spent the last 2 to 4 years really investigating and studying a woman like Brene Brown and her books. And the woman, her name's Susan, I can't remember her last name, but she wrote a great book, Fierce Conversations. And lately I've been listening to Alison Armstrong on top of all the men that I listen to in the books that I read. And this poem came up in my feed and it just stuck. It just hit me hard. And I wanted to break it down a little bit further and just go through line by line, because it's really easy to gloss over it and not understand the deeper meaning of it. You're really struggling over there, man. What? They're not letting you on at all? Oh man, that's crazy. All right, I got you. Well, let me know and then we can go from there. So to me, the If poem is a great blueprint on how to become a better man and to really look at yourself and say, yes, these are the things that I'm doing. I could consider myself a man. And the fact that he wrote this poem to his son, a lot of these things, we would word it differently, but I believe myself and the group of men that I'm around or that I do business with, this is how they would teach their sons as well. So, I'm sorry, 1895, this poem was written. I do have it down. I'm smart. Okay. So the first aspect of this poem is really talking about control over your emotions. If you keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. So to me, that's huge. That's the first. Is that the first line? Let's go back. Yes, the first line. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, that's huge, because there's going to be moments in your life where, whether it's sports, whether it's business, whether it's school, doesn't matter where it's at. If you're striving to better yourself, if you're striving to do more in life, you are going to run into situations where, sorry, I'm helping Corey fix some technical issues here. Wait, why aren't we scanning though? There we go. You good? Yep, there we go. Okay. So you're going to go through things in your life, essentially. Now, I'll word it like this. If you're playing sports, okay, and everybody's stressing out, everybody's losing control of what's going on. Can you maintain your calmness? Can you stay zen? If people start pointing their fingers at you and blaming you, can you stay calm during that process? It doesn't mean that you aren't emotionally feeling that, or even some doubt creeping in your head. Can you withstand the storm? I tell people all the time, I tell my fighters all the time, be the eye of the storm. There's this crazy storm going around you when you're in a ring or cage, but can you stay calm? The calmer person has a better shot of winning. Can you keep your cool? Can you stay calm in that moment? What they would say now, emotional regulation under pressure, leadership through chaos, remaining calm when others panic, how a fighter or father has to stay grounded during a storm. So it's these moments that right off the bat define what kind of man you're going to be. Are you freaking out with the masses? Are you losing control? Your family cannot rely on you if you're losing control. Doesn't mean you're going to be perfect, but can you maintain control of self? Because when you portray calmness, everyone else will start to feed off that as well. If you're okay with moving forward and taking the chance that you could be wrong, you'll be fine. So when we move to section 2, dealing with doubt and truth, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. This one, it took me a minute. I really had to think about this one because it was like, okay, can I trust myself when people doubt me? Well, yeah, for me, I've proven that multiple times now. When I decided that I was going to go full-time into music, almost everybody thought I was nuts. It's like, what are you doing? Like, how are you going to pay for this? How are you going to pay for that? How are you going to? It's like, well, music's going to pay for it. No, that's a pipe dream. That's trying to make it to the NFL. You're right. I'm going to make it. And it took believing in myself when everybody else doubted me. And then just keep working and finding a way to feed off their doubt. Like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to show you that I'm right. I'm going to show I'm going to prove it that I know what I'm doing here. And I did. I ran into the same thing when I went to buy the gym. I was leaving music when music is paying the bills. I'm leaving music when it's, for me, becoming extremely successful. I have my program running in multiple schools to the point where we're bringing others on board. I'm not going to every school anymore. It's now a program that's starting to really click. And to take a step back and run my gym and buy a gym is crazy. Even when I think about it, I'm like, man, I was crazy. But I believed I could do it and believed this was the next step for me. So when everybody else doubted, I stayed true. The part that was confusing for me is, but make allowance for their doubting too. That one, it took me a minute to try to understand. And what I got out of it was us believing in yourself while still staying grounded. Okay. Meaning I believe in myself. I believe hundreds of people can say I'm not going to be able to do this. I believe I can. But still being able to listen to the ones closest to me to hear them. It's okay if they have doubt. Well, I don't know if you should do this. I should never look at myself like I'm above them. I want to be able to still hear that doubt, because within that doubt, they might have some actual concerns, right? My mom and my wife are my go-to person if I want to run into doubt. So before I decided to expand my gym, I called my mom, and the convo went like this. I was like, okay, Mom, I'm thinking about doing this. Give me all the things you worry about, because her brain doesn't work like my brain. So she's going to give me worries that I've never even put on the chessboard yet. So she's giving me concerns that I haven't even thought of. She's telling me things that she's giving me doubt. She's essentially telling me all the things that she doubts and that she's worried about. And I want that, because now it expands my chessboard. It allows me to think about these things. Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, well, no, that I didn't think about that because it doesn't matter, right? Or I didn't think about that. Let me figure it out. Type of deal. Hopefully that makes sense. When you can move forward, even when everybody's doubting you, it gives you a different level of confidence, right? It's quote unquote navigating haters, critics, and inner doubt. Your inner doubt is a pain in the backside. I'm not going to front. Inner doubt is rough because you hear your own thoughts very loudly. And if your thoughts that you're hearing align with the doubt that they're giving out and the hate they're giving out, it's a lot to overcome. And that's where self-belief really, really plays a part, being confident about how you're moving. You may not know how you're getting to this place, but you know if you continue to walk forward, you will get there. It might take you 5 different paths, 5 different tries, but you understand that you will get there. And as a man, that is probably one of the most important qualities that you will ever need in your life. Because a woman, a really good woman will follow you down the path, right? You're like, hey, I want to walk here. This is where we're going, right? She's going to tell you all the things to be worried about. She's going to watch your 6, right? She's going to watch your back. She's going to be looking for different things because she's afraid of, to be honest, she's afraid of getting hurt herself. That's her first concern. She's concerned for herself. She doesn't want to get hurt. Great. We're going to use that to our advantage, right? She's going to look out for any threats that could threaten us, right? Cool. If you look shaky going forward, it's going to make her very scared and shaky going forward. If you're like, oh man, this was the wrong path, that's okay. We're going to backtrack a little bit. We're going to go a different way. Now we're going to go this way. Doesn't mean she's not going to be worried. It doesn't mean she's not going to have some doubt there, right? But she's seeing how calm and collected you are, how confident you are, you're going to figure it out. She'll keep following you. She'll keep going. It's the beauty of women. They're very resilient. They'll just keep going. You just got to keep walking forward yourself. So I thought that was really cool. That's a dope line. The next section. Endurance through pain and loss. This one I had to listen to 10 times. I remember, I listened to the poem probably 50 something times now. And the first 10 times I had to go back and just listen to this one. Oh, Joe, thank you. Thank you. I'm trying to anyway, Joe. Joe says, haven't been here in a minute. Hope you're doing great, motivating. Man, what I love to do.
There's no try, there's only do. Don't you tell me that all the time?
Oh, man, he's right. Yoda's the great philosopher. I'm not trying to do it. I'm doing it. So this next line, this next part from the poem, If you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same. I was like, wait a minute. Triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same. Is he saying that when you triumph in something and when you fail at something or don't succeed at something, it's not really true? And I'm like, that's facts. When I reach a goal, it's dope, but I set a new goal. I'm on to the next one. If I fall down and I don't reach my mark, I get back up, I figure it out, and I do it again. And I do it again. No matter what, I'm doing it again. So I work really hard never to feel the highs from winning or feel the lows from losing. Because I'm learning within that. I'm becoming better within that. There's always going to be the next time. I'm going to do it again, or I'm going to do something more. Right? It's funny because I had for YouTube, I was like, man, I got to get to 500 subscribers. I don't know how I'm going to do it. We just got to keep hitting him. I'm almost at 600 now. It's happened within the last 2 weeks where I've jumped like 200 or 300 subscribers. It's not a lot, but I'm seeing the jump now. And I'm like, oh, well, now I need 1,000. It's like, cool, I did it. Great. I did a fist bump and now I'm moving on. So the highs are never too high. The lows are never too low. If we get lost in our triumphs, right, we lose reality. If we get lost in the failures that we go through and the disasters in our life, we get lost. We're not living in reality. And the reality is right now. It's right now in this moment. The win I had yesterday, that was yesterday. The disaster and the loss I had yesterday was yesterday. And that's part of being a man, is just knowing that you just keep walking forward, right? You keep moving forward. The highs are never too high. The lows are never too low. It's the great moments are never too great, and the bad moments are never too bad. It is what it is, right? It's called stoicism, being very stoic. So one of the things I put in here is to talk about like my fight career. So street fighting, I don't know, hundreds of just getting into scraps. As a young man, as an adult, like never really suffered a whole lot of L's, right? Get into boxing, not really suffering any L's that hurt my feelings, right? Nothing that scarred me in my feelings. It was something about Muay Thai, though, that when I suffered that loss, it hurt my soul. Like I remember crying like it was a football game. Like I loved Muay Thai as much as I loved football. And if you knew me as a kid, all I would do is play sports, and football was that sport for me. And so I loved Muay Thai I still love it that much. And it hurt my soul to lose. And it was crazy because I cried so hard and then got back to training just to lose again. And I was like, no, what is going on here? And to train again and to get back to it. And then to suffer the injury. And the injury brought me so low, I lost track of all reality. And when I fought back and I got myself back to a point where I could fight and compete and I win my next 2 fights after that injury, I was like, why was I down? Why was I so low? Why did I allow myself to lose touch with reality? As a coach, to win, and then not win some titles, it put me in a low spot. I'm like, man, I must suck as a coach. And then the doubters started coming in. It's like, oh man. And for a second there, I lost touch with reality again because I thought I wasn't good enough. And I had to fight against that. So now whether I win or lose, it's like, cool, let's get back to the gym and we got more work to do. Right. And I like that feeling. That's an easier feeling for me to go forward with. It's how I want my son to move. It's like, hey, if you lose, if you made a bad play on this football field, nothing we could do about it. Move on to the next play. When the game is done, we got work to do. We practice that. Well, if you make some good plays, it's the same thing. Move on, next play. We got to go back to the lab and work on it. It never stops, win or lose. This next section, if you could force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone. So I had to look up sinew, I'm not like I had to look it up. And basically this is about pushing past your limits when the tank is empty. Well, this is how we do in my gym anyway. We seek death. We push our limits all the time because you have to. You have to push your physical limits in order to do something great. You have to push your mental limits. You have to push your emotional limits. As a man, and I call myself a caveman. Like I'm a caveman. Ooh, me man. I've had to push my emotional and mental limits to learn how to communicate with women differently. The books that I talked about at the beginning, or the authors, Brene Brown, Dare to Lead, great book. Susan, can't remember her name, Fierce Conversations. I believe it's Susan, right? And listening to women like Alison Armstrong and countless other women. I had to learn how to be more empathetic and more understanding and not just think with my logical mind. I had to try to put myself in their shoes, quote unquote, and be patient and not always solve the problems. Now, it still doesn't make any sense to me why I can't just solve the problem. Like, if you're thirsty, here's some water. I go to that analogy because I always think a white man can't jump. And she's basically this Woody Harrelson's girlfriend in that movie is like, I'm thirsty. And he's like, I'm gonna get you some water. She's like, no, I want you to empathize with me. I want you to share with me when you were also thirsty. And he's like, that doesn't make sense. And he gets a glass of water and they're bickering back and forth and he just throws the water on her face. It's funny as I don't know what. But that's how I feel most, especially when I was younger. It's like, you're saying this problem, let's just solve this problem. It seems like an easy problem to fix. Like, what's the problem? And I had to realize that they just want to vent. And I have to listen. And that was me pushing myself emotionally and mentally, right? Because I'm used to lifting weights. I'm a former amateur fighter. I'm used to pushing myself past breaking points physically, right? So now I have to do it in different ways. And so that really hit hard as well. And then it helps in business, right? Because now it forces me to slow down in business and not try to jump out the gate and solve every problem. Instead, I listen to everybody even more. I thought I was good at it before, and I probably was, but now I'm better at it, right? Now I can sit back and listen, analyze, read people more, and see what's up. Yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son. So that last part is just about maturing, integrity, leadership, self-mastery. It's a way to wrap it up saying, if you do these things, right, the earth is yours. There's nothing in this earth that you can't have. You just got to work at it. You got to go forward with it. You got to do everything necessary to go get it. And that is, you control you. And that's really big, right? So some of the other lines that I really, really like that I didn't have notes down. This one, oh, wait, where did it all go? Oh, here we go. I think Corey's going to like this one. Maybe not, though, because this is sort of how I do business. I don't know if Corey does business like this. Where's it at? That's wise. Where's the heart and sin? Okay. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss. That is dope to me. It's essentially saying pitch and toss is like just a game of, you're pitching something. Toss. I'm pretty sure it's like throwing bags, essentially. It could be horseshoes. It's basically understanding that you're so dope, it doesn't matter if you lose it all, you're going to win again. You're going to be able to build that back again. And this time you'll be able to build it faster because you already have the blueprint. You already know how to do it. That's why I was able to get my gym to be successful faster than I was able to build my music business, because I understood how to do it. I understood the blueprint of success, certain levels of success, right? Well, now that I'm doing my podcast and I'm doing social media, I understand the work. Basically, I understand I got to put in more work than I thought I would. When I first started music business, I was working a lot of hours, but I wasn't working diligently all the time. I wasn't making great use of my time. Where now I really try to make better use of my time, which is now showed when I look at my numbers, when I look at the statistics, right? It's being, and plus to me, it's also being willing to just risk it all, knowing I can get it back, knowing I could do that. What you think about that one, Corey?
No, I like that one. I've heard that one before. I think Coach Parcells from the Giants used part of this poem.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah, I can see him using that.
Yeah,
I can see him using this.
The type of coach he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This is the other line that I'm a really big fan of. If you could talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch. If neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much. Essentially, it doesn't matter who you're around, you're never, their morals, their values are never going to sway you from being who you are. Meaning, I could never hit a woman, right? I say that, and instantly, I don't know why, 2 or 3 reasons of why I would hit a woman popped in my head. They had to do with my kids. So, but my point is like, I don't believe in beating women, right? Just because one, I wouldn't hang out with people that beat their women, but let's just say I was around some dudes, they hit their women. I wouldn't all of a sudden think that's okay. Like, they're not going to stain my virtue. I'm going to stay within myself. I'm not going to be around people that do things that I can't accept, right? That go against my compass. Now, my moral compass is a bit askewed in some ways, but I still have a code that I live by. I don't want to be around people that beat up helpless people for no reason like that. I don't see anything cool about that. I don't want to be around men that beat women. I don't want to be around women that are just out here wild, right? So I have certain codes that I live by. I don't want to be around a man that isn't a good father, that isn't trying his damnedest to be a good father, right? You're not going to corrupt my integrity or my virtue. I'm not going to allow that. Being able to walk with kings and keep your common touch, to me, that just means never allow your head to get too big. You should be able to move around with millionaires, with 1%ers, and never look down on other people. You don't want to lose that common touch. You don't want to get so separated. And it's something that I really liked about Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power and 33 Strategies of War. He talked about it where Julius Caesar would go out and talk with his troops and talk with his soldiers before a battle, right? And even to the point where he might know somebody's name that's a nobody. Napoleon did this. often. He would find the drum majors and promote them. Because if the lowest soldier on the field could be promoted, then anyone could be promoted. And it made everybody else work that much harder. On the flip side, if you show your face too much, if you talk too much, if you do too much, then you're just a commoner. And they no longer regard you as the general, the king. It's like it's finding this balance. And so to me, that it all means that. It's like be able to function in the rooms with the kings, but also don't lose sight of just regular folks in comparison to the king. If neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men can count with you, but none too much. So the best example is actually a woman when I think of this one. So I think about Queen Elizabeth. So they called her Queen Elizabeth I. They called her the Virgin Queen, right? So she was the daughter of King Henry and I believe Anne Boleyn. I believe it was Anne Boleyn. It was one of the Boleyn sisters. I'm pretty sure it was Anne. And she was born she was conceived and born after King Henry basically divorced his wife, created this ruckus, and they were about to go to war with Spain over religion, right? Because that's when the King Henry was like, I'm the king. I'm basically the church. He wanted a divorce from his wife so bad to get remarried. That's a whole nother discussion we could talk about some other time. But anyway, their daughter, Queen Elizabeth, was born. She ends up being queen at a time where England wasn't that powerful. And she was able to not just grow strength, but become the strength. And she never let a man get too close. She had men, and nobody knows for a fact if she slept with them or not. They definitely pursued her. They definitely wanted a relationship with her. She would allow them to get close, but never too close. Basically, she would hang out with them for a month and then send them away or go do something else. So none of the men that were in her circle ever felt 100% secure to screw her over, to be able to do something against her. She was never married. She never had any heirs. She never had any kids. So that's what I think about when allowing men to count on you, right? They should be able to count on you. Your boys should be able to count on you. But they shouldn't be able to count on you at the expense of you or your family, right? If Corey has a flat tire, man, yo, Shock, can you come? Yeah, I got you. Like, I'm there, right? He hits me with a flat tire, but I got to take my son to football. I can't not do my obligation as a man and a father to be counted on by my boy. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense to everybody. So those are the ones that really stuck out to me that I knew I didn't need notes for. So, but this poem to me is incredible. If you could dream and not make dreams your master, if you could think and not make thoughts your aim. Like, I've talked about it on here before, just people dreaming. All you do is dream. You never plan. You never set goals. You never do anything. You never set it in motion. So you're just a dreamer. You just got dope dreams. And you can only tell people about your dreams so much without building your dream. I believe I could do this. I could do this. I could do this. I could do this. I could do. Yeah, you can, but you're not doing any of it. So now people look at you like you're just talking, right? If you can think and not make thoughts your aim. Look, we all think, but we always don't think the best thoughts. So if we're not thinking the best thoughts, maybe we shouldn't aim at that. And we also shouldn't think too highly of ourselves, right? We should think we're great, but we shouldn't think we're the greatest thing on earth. So it's keeping your thoughts in check. At least that's what it means to me. So this poem again is If, Rudyard Kipling. Really dope to me, really stuck out. I've been meaning to talk about some things like this. I was thinking about talking about Theodore Roosevelt's speech or quote, because it sits right behind my desk. It's like a dope scroll that sits behind my desk on a wall. So I know I want to talk about things like that because these are things that I read. And this one touched the soul. It hit the nerves a little bit different. So hopefully y'all vibe with it. Hopefully you listen to it. Like go listen to other people read it. There's some dope audio of it. Like it's incredible. It's incredible. And I will be honest, that's what really probably helped sell it for me. Is like I heard who's Kiefer Sutherland's dad. His dad, I think it was him. Now I'm gonna look it up while I'm talking, but I'm oh man, Kiefer Sutherland would be dope reading this too. Yeah, Donald Sutherland. So he died in 2024, but I listened to him read this. I'm like, oh, this is incredible. And then I had to find someone that sounds probably a little bit more bassy like me or a deeper voice, a fuller voice. So that find whatever voice you need to for it. But again, Rudyard Kipling, If, that poem is super dope, especially for men and women. If you want a blueprint to understand how to raise men on your own, I would encourage you to look at this. Now, I'm not telling you to enjoy the man himself. Like it's something I talked about with my wife. I was like 1895. She's like, yeah, I think he was known as a racist and a slave guy or something. And he was definitely all about England, and definitely he was a interesting man. But those were the times, right? I don't know too many. I know people want to say I would not be a slave owner if I was in those times. Yes, you would. Shut up. Yes, you would. Or I wouldn't be a slave during those times. Yes, you would. It's just whether you would stay a slave, right? And some of that, and it's funny because of the way it's broken down in here, you could read something like this and really decide that I don't want to be a slave anymore. And I really understand when people say, I'd rather die a free man than die a slave. I understand that so much, just based on my childhood. It was like, at some point, you got to fight. At some point, your freedom is worth it. Your freedom is worth death. And the moment you're willing to break away and be free, the world is your oyster. The world is there for you. And for young men, this poem really hit hard. This is telling you, it's a blueprint of what to do. If you don't know what words mean, look them up. If you don't know what a phrase means, look it up. Look it up, because I'm telling you, this one hits deep. Like, my son doesn't know it yet. And I don't think I've seen him pop in, but he's going to end up writing a report on this. He doesn't know it yet, but I'll be interested to see what he comes up with. So, yeah.
So you're agreeing with Killmonger's last diatribe in Black Panther, where he said he would have rather jumped from those slave ships than to be brought over here to be in servitude for the rest of your life.
If I don't have a family, yeah, for sure. For sure. It took me 15 years to figure that out, though. Because for 15 years of my life, I was being called the N-word. I was being beaten. I was being essayed. I was being destroyed. And it took, bury me in the ocean.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I just want to get it exact, so I'm just gonna
Yeah. So the quote that Corey's talking about is, bury me in the ocean with my ancestors that jumped from the ships because they knew death was better than bondage. It's I just got, like, it gave me a little bit of goosebumps. None of us in this generation will understand what it's like to be a slave in this country, right? None of us will know what it's like to be a slave in this country. None of us will know what it's like in that sense, right? But I do know how my childhood was. And yeah, it took me 15 years. No, it took me 16 years. It took me 16 years to be able to finally get up the courage to fight back. And it's funny because I don't even know, I wasn't even worried about the repercussions. If I would have had time to think about the repercussions, maybe I don't do that. But because I didn't have time to think about the repercussions, it was just reacting. And I fought back. And then it was on. I was never going to be a slave to a system again. So I feel that. Bury me in the ocean with my ancestors that jumped from the ships because they knew death was better than bondage. People really came down on Kanye. Think about that. When Kanye said they had a choice, was he wrong? Death or be a slave? Sucks. Not the best choices. But people have been fighting for their freedom since the dawn of man. Study the Roman Empire. Study Spartacus and how 6,000 people were crucified by Crassus for fighting for their freedom. 6,000 crucified. All different colors, religion, cultures, right? So this is a beautiful blueprint that has the possibilities to set you free. I'm not saying judge the man. Let's not judge the person who wrote it. Let's just take the words at what they are. Yeah, take the message out of it. If you could wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. Like, man, I think about Robert Greene when I'm reading this, because there's so many things that connect. Never think you're so high, because everybody will look at you and want to bring you down. But yet, don't look at yourself as you're low, because as you achieve greatness, they're all going to rip you down anyway, and you're going to be the only one that looks at you as you're still a dope person. It's crazy. It's being patient, but knowing when not to be patient. Oh man, it's crazy. But yeah, this is This is the poem I think everybody should get. Read this. Jump on this. Any other thoughts, Corey?
No.
Melissa? We got a guest next week, but the next time I'm alone, I think that's a good time to go into Theodore Roosevelt. Speech. I believe it was a speech, right? The Man in the Arena. Yeah, that's a speech. Please tell me you've heard that one, Corey.
Probably bits and pieces. Like once I hear it, I'll probably recognize it.
Oh man,
I can't directly trace it and say, "Oh, there's not lines that pop up."
Yeah, that one. That one's right. That one's. Someone got it for me. One of my fighters got it for me. And I love her for it. It was super dope. But it's like one of these scrolls. Like if I take it off the wall, it'll roll up. Mm-hmm. It's a big scroll. It's super dope. I'll just read it. I'm not going to analyze it right now. Okay. The Man in the Arena. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. What you think?
That's familiar. I've heard that one before.
What you think?
I mean, it's almost a blueprint for all things. It's so applicable to everything in all spaces, business spaces. Of course, if you take like literally, sports spaces, life spaces, there's just so much to extrapolate from.
Both poems are like that.
Yeah.
Apply like in every aspect of your life, depending on where you're at.
Mm-hmm. These dudes knew what they were saying. These old white dudes knew what they were saying. I don't even care. I mean, it's not a big deal that they're white because it doesn't matter. But these old dudes, like you think about it, this is so long ago. But
some of the best stuff.
But it's not. That's the weird part. It's long ago for us because we just can't fathom being that far. Like, I think I get it now because of my son. But he thinks 1990 was so far away. I'm like, man, that John was just yesterday. Like,
nah, bro, that was a long time ago.
Like, but it wasn't though.
It is not in our mind. In their mind, it's
because we lived it.
Yeah,
like you know what I'm saying. Like we lived it. So it's still fresh. There's still moments from the 90s that are fresh in our head. When I think about hip hop, Wu-Tang. When they dropped, when Snoop dropped, when Dre dropped, I'm like, man, it was like fresh. I still remember that.
Each poem took something though that was very complex, but simplified it in how, like what you're saying and the value in what you're saying.
Yeah.
And it's hard to do that, I think, nowadays, right? Like they took something that was basic, but put it in a romantic way of saying it, if you will. And
yeah.
made it valuable then.
Yeah. See, I would say it's more difficult for us now because we overthink it. Mm-hmm. We just don't keep it simple. I love it. One of the things that I get told, Oh, I can't remember the word now.
Simplifying complex thought.
Yeah, it shows mastery when you're able to just explain something simple.
Eloquent.
Yeah,
Maybe
vague,
feelings about it, though.
vague. When I think of simple, I think vague.
Yeah, that's a better word.
I think vague, and I get told I'm very vague. It's like, look, man, I just do this. I'm saying this. It means something. If you don't know what it means, so be it. But it's, yeah, we're going to have to go over the man in the arena because Brene Brown talks about that too. She talks about in dealing with feelings. I love the way she ties it to feelings. Because she's like, if you're not willing to step in there and be vulnerable and talk about your feelings, you can't do anything. Be the man in an arena. Be willing to fall. Be willing to express your emotions and your feelings properly and fall. So
That's true strength.
vulnerability is courage. Being willing to try something. When Corey decided to jump in this building, he was being vulnerable with himself and his pocketbooks. And that takes courage, right? So it applies to everything. But man, thank y'all for joining us again. I appreciate y'all. TikTok didn't throttle us too bad. It took a minute, but it looked like we got the numbers back up there closer to what they were. So I appreciate y'all following me on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to all the channels. Make sure you follow, like, all that stuff. We're just gonna keep hitting you over the head with stuff. And then if there's topics you want us to talk about, hit me up. All right. Deuces. Peace. We out.
Shit, I'm about to go wait in this place when you dropping the bass in. The beat inside the streets of awaken. I'm making to break my foot off of somebody's ass. I'm waiting for someone to say my name so I can annihilate them. Okay, then everyone was screaming the rape when I was kicking at the gate till it caved in, belly scraping by. But now I'm paid. Look at the paper I break and I'm caking like Jay-Z and Drake. And I hate when people say that I ain't killing shit. The game is my playpen. I punch you in the face and end up breaking your break bands. I'm far from Hollywood. I'm posted up at the days in. Even though the industry say I'm the latest sensation. Drop the stuff at the board show. They're coming complacent. Mama saw me on TV with just a bum in the basement. You a Captain Saber, who you just tucking the cake in. I fuck your baby mama in